rests, tool rests. And I use a clamp around there so that it's always in the right position.
Makes it quick and
yeah,
easy to set up.
Yeah. That was another idea somebody came up with. I don't remember who. Now, I'm going to turn this. When I turn it, I'm going to lose that registration mark. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, when I turn them, I always try to keep that registration mark to the right. I'll replace that registration mark in a minute, and I'll show you how I do that.
You're going to be on the right, I'm going to move to his left.
Okay.
Be over his shoulder.
Full speed. Now, I need to know how far down to turn it, and I'll get to that in a minute. First, I'll rough it out. Okay, I've got it down to round. Where's my registration mark? Wrong. That's why I always try to remember to put it to the right so that then I can replace it in there. I usually try to do about 3 of them in there. Now, that'll stay there till I'm all done. And then when I put them together, I know that's the center band.
That's got a flat spot on it.
Yeah, I just haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
So the purpose of that is to keep the grain running with the grain to where
Yeah,
they match
Now,
just like
I
you
say,
cut them.
On these, with the slim line, you can adjust it so it doesn't, matter. But when you get something like this, now this is walnut. When you get something like that, when you put it together, you want the grain to line up.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people don't realize that unless you do it just right, it still doesn't line up
Right.
because they're triple thread.
Is that a fountain pen?
No, that's a roller ball. It's what they call the over-under shotgun shell.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a customer that gets these from. Components I'm going to use. Set my caliper to it, and then I zero it. I have 2 sets of calipers. One I use for the ends, and one I've got marked I use for the center band. So once I get close, I don't use the calipers, I use the feel. What I've done, I've taken a nib and I've put it between centers, taken a file and filed that down so that it just fits inside there. Now I don't care what that measurement actually is, it's whether or not I can feel it. That's the important thing. And you see that's got a little bit more to go, that's got a lot to go. Actually 20,000 times. But you can't feel it, that's the important thing.
And it's like you find it so sensitive.
Yeah.
Touch and feel the
That,
dial.
now that's still got to come down a little bit. Now rather than bring the whole thing down, I usually just try to bring this edge down a little bit.
Real smooth right up
Yeah,
there.
and most people starting out, they make that center so big.
Yeah,
And
I've
I,
seen
you know, I don't know whether they think it's, I guess I did that when I started too, but
Just getting the feel of it.
yeah. But now that one, that's only 2 thousandths. But yeah, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever measured that before, exactly what that was, but that's basically what I do. And then the that was a B. So then I'll do the other B, the other half of the B. I don't have a dummy one of these, so I do have to go by measurement on that. I don't care what the actual measurement is, I just want to zero it out. forget, I'm gonna mark the center. Don't have. So I put them on that way, then I know the orientation when I'm ready to sand and finish CA.
Sure beats doing them one at a time, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you buy that rod, or is it just something off the shelf?
I think I
current.
bought that rod.
Okay. Definitely something I need to look into.
If you're gonna do it in a production manner, I guess so.
Yeah.
And how fast you gonna sand them?
1200 is about what I shoot for on sanding. And I go with 400 after that.
What grit did you start with?
400.
400.
And I go through the 9
lost count. You do 10 times?
Yep. Again, some people I use strictly thin, okay? I buy it in the big bottles. I decant it into these smaller ones. These are the only bottles that I have found that have that little lip in there. Because, and that catches any that comes down, and it doesn't come down the side of the can of the bottle. I get those from a guy in Australia. Every once in a while, I'll run low on these. They'll get worn out or whatever. So I'll buy 10 bottles of glue from him, and then I just refill them from the others. Bob Smith Industries, BSI.
How long do you let it rest?
Overnight. This is the what's known as the Beal buffing system.
Yeah, we both have one.
Okay.
I'll get to turn up the milk season now. I like that little tool you got there.
Yeah, I like having the lathe. You can make your own tools.
You can do as much as your mind will allow you to run.
And comes assembly time. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to be over there at the pen press.
His pen press is on the wall, right there on the wall.
Okay, what I do when I get component sets, blank, so I always test them, and then I put them up here that they've been tested. Now, when I go to I don't know, you haven't made any slimline pens.
Never made things.
Have you, Tim?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you put the transmission in there, it has to go in a certain amount, and the amount that has to go in varies depending upon the length of this barrel. And if you have adjusted a little bit when you're turning and you're doing the ends and so forth, that difference, you know, how far you put that in there, it becomes a barrier. You put it in, and then you test it, and then you first put on the tip, and then you put that transmission in there, and you press it in so far, and then you test it with that, and no, that's not enough, and you keep pressing, and whoops, that's too far, and then you got to take it all apart again.
That's why you said at one time, I heard you say this, and I completely agree. Slimline is what everybody says. Do a slimline as your first pen because it's the easiest thing to do.
No way, no way. But if you set this up with a bolt and a lock nut, set it up at the right length, and then you just press that in there till it bottoms out. No matter how long that is, that's in there in the right location.
Wow. Very nice.
And then, now when you put the rest of it together, what you have to do, you have to put the center band on, you have to put the that on, and now you can put the nib on. Because if you press on this, on the transmission, it's going to push it down further. Mm-hmm. So if you do that, then you can put the nib on. That's right there, the right distance.
Perfect.
Now, is the lag bolt
Yeah.
not your idea, or is that somebody's idea?
No, I stole some. I was on the International Association of Pen Turners forum.
It's a very good idea, whoever come up
It
with it.
is, yeah.
I've never seen that. And it sure does make it easier.
You didn't put that all the way in.
No, I didn't. I wanted to make sure that I like to make sure that the best part of the blank is showing. Now this, the Slimline doesn't have that, but this one has the screw-on clip, this cap that's screwed on. And then the final test.
It's a beautiful pen. Love that finish.
Oh yeah, and that sapella wood